Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new video here on the channel. We are doing the 2022 Indianapolis 500 here today with these Indy cars on the iRacing AI single player mode, which I am very excited to test out here for 20 laps around this Indianapolis Motor Speedway now, as I spent some time getting some practice and we saw some issues in my practice races here where Jimmie Johnson actually had some issues with iRACING, and you can see a big crash right there for Christian Lundgaard going into the catch fence as well, and I was a little bit concerned coming into this main race after seeing that from my practice races, hoping that I'm not going to be a part of that here. But we were ready to do 20 laps of the Indianapolis 500 here as Scott Dixon would lead the way. This is not scripted here with who started on pole. I'm not lying, I'm dead serious. It's just a little bit coincidental that Scott Dixon was on pole for this race as well here as they head through turn 1 and 2. I am not the most knowledge-filled person when it comes to IndyCar, so if you're like a big IndyCar fan, don't roast me for whatever I get wrong in this video or if I suck at driving an IndyCar in an oval, because like I said, I don't have the most knowledge when it comes to IndyCar racing here now. But still, I mean, an absolute thrill even here on the iRacing service against these AI now. Over 30 cars on the track. You can see everyone's scrapping it out right now wheel to wheel as we head through oval turn 4 down this front straightaway. I was running the McLaren, I believe I was running Pato Award's McLaren as we head down this front stretch, and you can see side by side, 2x2x2 right here, 3 lanes deep just about, as you really got to be careful when you're driving this car. You see me passing around the outside of former F1 driver Marcus Ericsson, but the biggest thing here when it comes to oval racing in Indy cars is the dirty air. It is so difficult to follow a car, and I actually paid the price immediately there. Being in behind another car, I just lost the clean air and the nose just went straight instead of left, so I have to try and navigate my way around that, and you're going to see me actually repass Marcus Ericsson. So what the big tactic I was trying to use here in this Indianapolis 500 was going up a lane or two wide on the entrance of the corner so I can have that clean air, and then I can really get a good run through the corners. But it's so difficult to, like I said, follow cars, and we had some nice battles going on actually up at the front for the lead here. You see Scott Dixon, Will Power scrapping it out side by side, wheel to wheel here down this back straightaway. Now, who do you guys have to win the Indianapolis 500 in real life? Let me know. I would love to hear your thoughts on that here. I myself, as a NASCAR fan, I'm going to go with Jimmie Johnson, obviously an extreme long shot pick to win the Indianapolis 500, but that's what I would love to see win the Indianapolis 500. What a story that would be. You see Scott Dixon would get past, but it was not over. He would dive down into turn 1 again up the inside of the Australian Will Power and move back into the lead. Really nice to see the AI actually can race each other here, and Will Power actually would lunge back at Scott Dixon again, and well, he would move back into the lead of this race. But Dixon not done yet. He would continue to fight back on the outside. If you can pin a car down and get on their right rear, it's actually pretty easy to complete the pass. But Will Power would take the lead here now as I was all over the back of Alexander Rossi, former Indianapolis 500 winner, and we would cruise around the outside of him. You see what I was talking about, not following a car, not being in their dirty air, going to the outside while they have dirty air from the car in front of them. You get to their outside and you can completely capitalize on it because you now have clean air compared to the car that you're trying to battle now. As we were continuing to run down now Santino Ferrucci, Scott Dixon actually would retake the lead of this race here in the next few laps now. 13 laps ago, he actually had about half a second lead over Will Power and Ed Carpenter, who would move up into second place now. The local driver of Ed Carpenter there in second place, as we were continuing to hold our own currently in P12. Kind of calm down a little bit here in this race, so I actually lose a little bit of ground, and you can see once again the dirty air. I was having a tough time getting clean air from this distance back, because I don't know, it was just kind of weird, like I couldn't get myself to go a little bit wider, and unfortunately I was losing some ground from that dirty air and having to lift on the exit of the corners here. As you can see throughout this field right now, pretty calm, cool, and collected. Not a lot of side-by-side action, if any at all, going on at this point now, but it was still Scott Dixon leading the way over that man right there, Ed Carpenter in second place, trying to run him down. Will Power fading backwards, or falling down backwards in that third position now, as we were actually under pressure here from Marcus Ericsson with 10 laps remaining in this GP, as we would actually get back closer to Connor Daly, who had now fallen down into 11th place. But look at the momentum we were able to carry once we got that clean air once again, and we're going to continue to use that and go around the outside of Connor Daly and up into P11 we go, closing in on a potential top 10 position here as Marco Andretti dropped down into 10th place. Same tactic I'd been using 8 laps to go. We're going to go around the outside into the top 10 we go here in this 2022 Indianapolis 500. So much fun racing against these AI, but actually with 7 laps to go, a caution would come out from none other than myself, because I wanted to spice it up and I'd do the caution, to be completely honest with you guys here. So we were getting ready for a late race restart to determine who would win this Indianapolis 500 as Scott Dixon once again out in front, leading the way. Not a good start for for Ed Carpenter, as Will Power pounces on the opportunity, moves into second place. I know in real life, of course, it's a single file start, but obviously with iRacing it was double file, and I know the original start is 3 wide, but we only had double file for the original start as well here, as you're seeing myself trying to get on the move. But look at the whole pack of 30 plus cars here in this Indy 500 scrapping it out as they head down this back straightaway. Surprisingly, we haven't seen the chaos that I saw in my practice races here earlier before I recorded the original race here, as I'm all over the back of 7-time NASCAR Cup Series champion Jimmie Johnson, and around the outside we go of Jimmie Johnson, who's a multi-time winner at this racetrack in the NASCAR Cup Series, but we were able to make the pass on Jimmie Johnson right there and move our way forwards now towards the top 5 position. But look at the midfield just scrapping it out wheel to wheel. Alex Rossi there on the inside struggling to move forwards now. He struggled over the last few years in IndyCar in general now. As you can see, everyone just wheel to wheel. Great overall racing here from this AI on this Indianapolis Motor Speedway here in iRacing. 3 laps to go. Scott Dixon already had nearly a second lead. Here comes Pato O'Ward up the inside. His livery didn't load, unfortunately, here, but we are wheel to wheel and sideways there. Come to 2 laps to go. Wade Jacker was up to, I think, 4 or 5 clicks at this point in the race, but certainly dealing with a little bit of oversteer. And you see it right there. I'm actually going to go and put down the Wade Jacker just a little bit. One hand on the wheel, and we are wheel to wheel with Pato O'Ward as we head down into turn 1 with 2 laps remaining, and he was not backing out. It was cool. Right at the end of this race, AI not backing down from a challenge. Usually when we're to the outside of them, they back out of it. Not here with these final couple of laps underway now as we head down this back straightaway, coming to the final lap of this Indianapolis 500. Jimmie Johnson up the inside. I was falling off hard suddenly in this race now. On that right rear of Johnson, we're going to be wheel to wheel close, very close quarters racing right there with Johnson, but I can tell you it feels a lot closer in car than it does what it actually looks like outside of the car. It feels like I was within a couple of centimeters of him, but it's a good chunk of space still between myself and Johnson as this final lap is underway down into turn 1. Continuous wheel-to-wheel action here with the 7-time NASCAR Cup Series champion. We're nearly into the outside wall in the exit of turn 1. Johnson not backing down from a fight here. A top 10 run for the 7-time champion, as Scott Dixon, though, is cruising to victory over Will Power as well as Ed Carpenter. I take the defensive line this time over Johnson up the inside. He goes to the outside this time, though, and here comes Takuma Sato, who's going to lose way to Marcus Ericsson. We're still side by side with Jimmie Johnson down into turn 4 for the final time. Ericsson might even try to force a 3-wide as we exit turn 4. We're going to be wheel to wheel, side by side contact with Ericsson. We're going to go sliding into the inside wall and into the pit wall, and that's going to end our race abruptly as we come through just trying to cross the line on this final lap. What a finish. We managed to somehow finish, I think, in 24th position. Yes, it is P24. Scott Dixon wins the Indy 500 here in 2022 in the iRACING AI race, and I just simply made a misjudgment right there with Marcus Ericsson, and unfortunately we had our contact and crash there. So I did not mean to turn into him, just simply I was just trying to squeeze him a little bit, and unfortunately, well, into the side of Marcus Ericsson I went. Nonetheless, what an absolute blast that was to record. Very, very much fun, and I'm very excited to see what the future of iRacing or just IndyCar gaming in general looks like. We know there's an official IndyCar game coming out next year, and R-Factor is a great way to look into maybe the potential future of IndyCar games here coming to us. But if you guys enjoyed, you know what to do. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching. Have a great day, everybody.